right in the middle of the city. But I love to pretend as if I'm out in the countryside, especially somewhere in the English countryside. I know it's a shared dream for a lot of people to embrace a slower lifestyle, more time outdoors, less time in front of a screen, a greater sense of peace and tranquility, and more connection to nature. I want to encourage you that there are so many ways that you can do that, no matter where you live. Last year, I sowed lots of wildflowers in our new meadow area, and this spring it is looking just beautiful. It brings me so much joy to look out at what had just been empty and to see diversity in abundance. It's such a nice contrast from the typical suburban backyard. One thing that starts to happen when you transition a suburban yard truly to a garden is that the wildlife shows up. This year, we've had a nest of juncos in our creeping fig right outside the back door. When we're in the kitchen garden, we can hear them cheeping. And overall, every year we hear more birds on the property. When you garden a little more gently with nature, it is so fun to see nature show up. The birds show up, the lizards, the bees, the butterflies. Everybody comes when there is a feast to be had. It just feels like a little bit of magic to yank a carrot out of the ground. So you may not have room for a big farm type garden, and I don't either, but everybody can grow something either in a raised bed or in a pot. I like to disregard all of the rules of spacing and just pack my raised beds so full so that they're lush and abundant and I get as much as I possibly can. I don't mind the wild look. The kitchen garden is turning over from the abundance of the winter greens and brassicas. We are getting ready to plant out tomato and pepper seedlings right now. And one fun thing that we did for the first time this year was grow carrots, and the boys had so much fun pulling them. In the spring and summer with the longer days, one of the best times to be outside is after dinner, golden hour, instead of sitting inside on the couch and watching TV or some other more sedentary pursuit. If everybody can get a last breath of fresh air, a little bit more sunshine, watch the sun go down, everybody sleeps better. Another simple way to really slow down and enjoy what is happening outside is just to pay attention and make sure you have something flowering in every season. In my area, the snowball viburnum are spectacular in April. No matter where you are, spring is such a special time in the garden. And April and May are probably my favorite months because so much is happening. huge goal of creating a garden for me and for my family is to have an impetus to get outside. And one way that we do that is by having a structure to go sit in, something that draws you out into the garden, into the landscape. Giving your family a way and a place to do more of life outdoors. And having tasks to do, work to do, is actually part of the goal to me. That's what it would be in the countryside. You don't get to just sit and look at the landscape and say, my, how pretty. You have to actually interact, and there's a lot of work to do. I think that's really great for kids. We know that it's good for our well-being. And one big task during the spring is to get all the seedlings planted. I'm so excited to see them all grow in and to have a gorgeous, lush, new garden area right here. But valuing the time spent outdoors and the time together as part of why we're doing this, to me, is just as important. All of that makes it part of a lifestyle. And the lifestyle of being outside has its own incredible value. I love seeing my kids get excited about outdoor tasks. A simple one this spring has been gathering weeds from the cutting garden and giving them to the chickens. That was my oldest son's idea. He was really pleased with himself and he was so happy to help do it. It made for such a nice family evening. Of course, kids aren't always excited about helping, but if they are and if they're willing, I say get them involved as part of a family rhythm. Overall, my biggest piece of advice to anyone who also wishes that they could live out in the country is just to embrace imperfection. So not feel like the roses have to be sprayed within an inch of their lives, not feel like everything has to be pruned and clipped perfectly, every bed without a weed. That is absolutely not how my garden looks. And I don't have time. If that were the standard, I couldn't do it. I choose instead to focus on abundance and joy, and whatever happens, happens, especially in this season of life with really young children and a new baby. That in itself is enough. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week in your own gardens. Happy gardening.